bounty hunter to set up kills. They don't have a specter that can like haunt in to help out on any gank. They don't have a niche prophet. They have nothing to facilitate a comeback for Koifa. So his lane has to go well, but it's an Earth Spirit and a Phoenix versus a Wind Ranger. This just seems like ridiculously risky now.
Koifa is a very good player, but as you said, there's so much hate that's going to be coming his way. We'll see if he can do it, folks. See if he can win out. And it'll be interesting kind of either way. I think we talked about it in the first series, but of course everybody really wanting to make it to a LAN right now because there are very few LANs left between now and the international invites are going to go out. So for both of these teams, super important. BP a bit on the decline. Dig, I would actually say Dig is still on the rise because they're a team that kind of came out of nowhere and actually made it to a bunch of qualifiers right after forming. But I guess a lot of people don't consider it a win unless you're winning tournaments.
Yeah, they just went through like a little bit of a rough patch where they had Epicenter, right? And they qualified for that. That was huge for them. And then they were in the Dream League LAN finals. And those were two big tournaments that were like their moment to really shine if they wanted to elevate themselves to a further... Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of in losing the tournaments or anything, but they got knocked out wildcards at Epicenter. So you just end up there and you're 2 weeks in Russia, not able to play any games. But they scrimmed the entire time from what I said. They're just like playing against Fnatic the entire time because they also... wildcards, so hopefully they learned a lot from that. We've already seen a lot more strategies coming out since then, so it's still a big moment for your team, but when you compare that to like potentially doing half decent or doing well at the Dream LAN, there was a lot of room to... But I would agree, there's up and coming. They certainly haven't peaked yet.
Yeah, Koifa going to be in a little bit of trouble, but instead they'll turn around onto Nofia. Surprise, surprise, we had some business and he will take half of his life in health. And actually really cute, both mids actually, before they began the lane, just eating their trees so that they can harass effectively and draw creep aggro. Nice to see those cute little plays. But anyway, we didn't do intros because we were just lamenting the fact that either of these teams in a rough spot when it comes to Europe and invites. Let's be real, Navi's getting invited to TI. So Dig, we got Koifa playing up on that mid, Storm Spirit, Yapzor shadowing him, trying to keep the mid laner safe. We'll see Era up top on that Lifestealer. Oh, okay, actually we have problems in the middle lane. That's gonna be our first blood. Jesus, power shots down Koifa. Ruins our introductions, but finishing those off, we got Cinderin on the Skywrath, and finally, last but not least, we have Kezu on that Tidehunter.
Alright, well, as getting our first blood here, G, that Wind Ranger, good hero, solid stuff. One of his more of an constantly killing in the mid lane. Go here on this Earth Spirit, never gonna leave Koifa alone.
Oh yeah, just again. As you say it, we are going in the kickback. Koifa, he needs a hand. They do the telekinesis on G, really nice play here. The power shot though won't be enough. Went through a couple of creeps there. Not sure it would have been enough at the. It is level 2, so maybe. Anyway, you were saying.
Oh, well, like, I mean, just look at the regen he has. He's got 3 tangos he had to buy up. He's 4 before he gets home. Just throwing out power shots. Are there still heroes to introduce?
Oh, kind of. F&G. You know, he's got a haster. Who really worries about him on the Phoenix? We wished it a little bit. We were talking too much about the emotions. Just show Aloha dance on the Slog, and Axe is cheating. He's jungling instead of being in that off lane. So, Yoku there. Interestingly, we are seeing Tide. He's doing a really good job down here of being present in the lane. So the Phoenix hasn't been able to rotate as well, which is, I think, good for Dig, despite how hard this mid lane is.
Yeah, maybe head on to the mid lane. Maybe they just don't need his help, right? Everything's going fine. No Fear wants a couple levels. Kills aren't quite enough, so come top lane. No, Eric shouldn't be able to get a kill, I don't think. He doesn't have his phase boots up yet.
Yeah, he's just casually going deep past the tower, just lifestealer things. And while I say that, we have just more folks. Skywrath actually coming down bottom, because as we talked about, there was nobody contesting top lane.
Well, Koifa still hasn't died a second time, so kind of a little bit of a win there for him. Yapzor just babysitting mid lane, no real other option, but it's really frustrating. He's a Rubik. Kind of talk about it, this hero has to be very greedy, and it's probably going to end up with like Cinder and more experience just because of this dual lane down here. And not only does the Rubik need experience, but the Storm Spirit too. Like, these are just two very needy heroes sharing and splitting up. If Yapzor wants to go get farmed, then Koifa's just going to die.
Koifa, it's a rough one. They can stack up for him. We didn't mention this, but of course Yapzor maybe can go off, get some stacks going. It's something that is slower with the changes to the creeps having magic resistance, but Koifa still can do it. So that's something. yeah, we'll see Yapsol start to head up there to make another stack. He's already got some going. This is good for Diggity.
Yeah, you can certainly still do the stacks. Yeah, it's totally wiped out, right? Not quite as efficient as they feel like come back right to the wave. But unfortunately, he was poor that the bottle's only now getting delivered. Not that it's that great anyway on the hero.
Oh, we haven't mentioned it, but Nofia has decided to stick up here in the top lane, getting a lot of experience. Kind of going to be a better start than not kind of, is a better start than last game, because he will get a very early level 6 and more experience up on the Earth Spirit. Always good.
Yeah, more levels than that silence too. When you're looking at this lineup of Dig, going to be very crucial for Cinderin, for Yapsor, and mostly just then onto the Quakeba with the Kraken Shell and the Rage.
Oh, they get a nice telekinesis and a silence on the bottom lane. Aloha Dawn should be going down. The lower auto attack follows him, and they will find a really important kill on that block.
Yeah, so close. Like this is when Slarks really start getting greedy as you're getting closer and closer to those higher levels. Ways away from 6 though. Looks like he's been playing pretty heavily. He's now cracked into 5.
Yeah, they are doing a really good job. The Slok, a lot of CS under the Lifestealer, and it is just what they need. But here we go. Beautiful Shackle coming out of G. There's the roll in. They lift up Nofia. Quakeba trying to walk it away. He doesn't have anything in that pullback. The Fairy Fire. Will it be enough? The concussive shot gets the last hit. And Cinderin racking off those kills.
Yeah, and this is what they have to do. Like, they know that this pressure is going to be non-stop coming. Every time to turn it around. And yeah, it's been slower for Quakeba and it's been slower for Yapsor, but as long as they can't secure those kills, then it's kind of a, like, I wouldn't say it's favorable for Dig. Like, yeah, they're getting some kills. They got slowed down on these two heroes. It's definitely ways.
Doing some good work on Dig, but Cinderin gets pounced up. There is a nice silence of the Phoenix, so he doesn't contest with too many of those balls, but it's not enough. Aloha Dance pretty low, still doesn't have 6, but not too much this ball Ice Hunter can do. And now Sunray coming out onto Kazu, quite rude of this Phoenix, being a right pain.
Yeah, has to be cautious because they don't know when he's gonna crack 6.
Speaking of cautious, Quakeba in a little bit of trouble. He is silenced up here. G is thinking about coming on through. He doesn't get the shackle, the power shot, not quite enough, but they'll finish it off with Nofia there. Korea, the Rage Creep MVP takes that down. Oh, what a guy. Sorry, I really like Korea kills.
At least G got a model off it first, but yeah, not the ideal scenario here. Is Nofia coming down, he's got 3 stones, 4, drop on the Cinder. Then get her done.
Oh yeah, here they go. Kazu taking that Sunray. Cinderin will get shackled up here. Tidehunter thinking about coming back for his buddy, but Cinderin one more attack will fall, and just the TP out from Kazu. Nice, safe play. We will see just a little lead. It's actually still incredibly even.
Under attack. Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, it is, and then the big thing though will be just these words, because they're now going to start to on G, and he's ready to fight, move around the map, push. Towers, like, yeah, he wants either that Maelstrom is the common build now with the acronyms, but he's much more like active. I suppose he has the ability to be more active than Quakeba, right? Like, he still hasn't even cracked into level 6.
Yeah.
Don't think Era's at a point must be joining either, as he doesn't even have that arm lit up. So I'd like to see some pressure come up from VP and see if they can force a bad Ravage at a kit.
I'm a huge fan of how active G has been. He definitely is still winning the CS war. He has gotten kills to put him up some more, and now it's looking like Quakeba. Gotta be careful here. They've got a silence with his name on it. Oh, actually, this is coming the other way.
They're trying to bait Quakeba here. They're smoked up forts.
I mean, he's looking juicy. You just need Earth Spirit to give it a go.
They see Nofia too. They're fully aware where he is next to these
yeah,
boards.
they just go for the telekinesis out onto G, but the silence comes out too slowly. They will not find too much. Phoenix coming in, gonna open up onto Yapsol. They've turned it around. They don't even need the shackle. One more auto attack, and that Rubik goes down.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And not too many big surprises here. Yoku, by the way, level 7. Just the AFK hero here, but he is getting towards that Blink Dagger. 800 gold away. Era pressuring top, still isn't taking the tower, maybe just trying to stay a little bit safer, doesn't want the creep bar, not too concerned about pressuring it all the way down, and also worried about those rotations that he make, don't want his name to become that bottom left kill feed, right?
Dire's middle tower.
It's really worrisome here, as you mentioned, because Diggity, They haven't been able to use that first Ravage of the game successfully. They still need a lot of farm up on Koikba, and I mean, their Earth Spirit's ahead. You haven't even, as you said, the Axe hasn't come out of the jungle. He's getting very close to that Blink Dagger. I am not sure whether the Tidehunter will have the farm he needs once Yoku is ready to go.
Yeah, well, we saw that big, like, back fight inside the Rush Pit last game. Yeah, because of the Seg. Kezu, like, that's kind of be how they get back into the... Be a very similar an overextension by VP. They come into some sort of a ill-advised tower push. Ravage comes off, instantly eliminated by the Mystic player. Now, this is, of course, all coming if they actually get some bigger levels onto these needed. Look at Koik, but look, kill the stack. Look at the stack.
Well, I mean,
dead.
Yeah, it's not great. These are the changes, though. We've seen that before, right? These are some of the changes. The storm. I think it's very similar to
cloak aura. I can't get over that.
It could have been worse. It could have been triple, right? He could have gotten Centaurs.
True, that's true.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, this is actually a good stack, all things considered. Like, yeah. And he's gonna go back to base. He can probably actually drink the bottle up and doesn't have to go back to base. But yeah, this is how it goes. This is part of why the Storm Spirit isn't picked as much.
Yeah, he's so much more often seen safe lane now too, where you get like a dual mid going, usually with like an IO +1 is a really nice pairing with the Storm Spirit. That's something that Diggity have actually done before too, in that sort of a sense. And just give yourself that safe lane farm, go bottling runes and everything, you're just creeps for like 15 minutes, and here we go, our first bomb. Oh, yeah, no, I was gonna say, that wasn't really a dire thing, we're good.
Yeah, we're seeing a nice silence coming out, and there we go, there is the bomb, they open up onto Nofia. So they do manage to get something going. Eretz, the time spent away from lane, proving well worth it.
Yeah, now we'll see if they can actually apply some more pressure. The Kezu, he's still not up into that mech. Getting there though.
Yeah.
They're completed. That first Ravage is gonna be the key for them right now.
Oh no, but they have picked off the Storm again. Axe thinking about going in, has Blink up in 2 seconds. Oh gosh, he's gonna get both of them if they're not careful. No, he's just gonna walk up to Kezu. Still actually hasn't quite gotten it. A nice telekinesis onto G. There's gonna be a call and the dunk onto Cinder. And now G just looking to get on out. There's the Ravage coming out. One more anchor smash. He'll pick off G. That's a huge kill there. Cinder, they will work on this Supernova. They should be able to get it. They've got it. Yoku, he didn't get the call off. And now maybe do they have another open wound in 7 seconds? They can go after Yoku, but Slog coming back onto Kezu. Suddenly they need some help. A beautiful kill. Oh gosh, Kezu doing such good work, and with the rage, they will get the kill there. Was that a stolen dunk that I just saw? I think it was.
But all I do see is they are going to triple kill. And that Ravage to kill. Fantastic.
Axe dunked the Rubik, and I thought maybe the Rubik dunked the Axe because the Axe was dead there. And yeah, anyway, it's still beautiful stuff. Eric gets 1,000,000 kills. He is now at 3-0-1, which is actually 3 and 1 add up to 1,000,000. And he suddenly has a lot of gold. He can get some good work done on the Echo Saber.
Yeah, head right into it. Very aggressive on something like the Slark. Yeah. Ever against Slark. They have the silence, and you hope that doesn't become an issue, right? He's got it maxed out for here. 5 full seconds available.
I don't think that they actually...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They don't have much control for the Slog. Unfortunately, Storm goes down again. What was he doing over there?
Just not respecting the Blink Dagger. Insane.
So, good and bad news for Diggity. Their control for the Slog a bit lacking right now, as you mentioned. It's pretty much that silence, but unfortunately, if you see the Skywrath at all, you press that dog pack, and suddenly it's gone. I think the upside, of course, being that the Slog went the Midas. So they have a window here on Diggity, where they do not need to worry about the Shadow Blade, and they know it.
Yeah, things are starting to look really good for VP that I can understand going down.
Oh, Shackle. They will just... Oh, Mystic Flare as well. They slow her in, and Anchor Smash finishes off G. Aloha don't want Cinder, but he's going to go for the TP out, and Kezu mechs him up. Just says, hey, you ain't getting my bird friend today. And he's going to just still play down here so riskily. Has the mana boost. They are coming in. There is actually no Ravage here, but they're still going to try to give it a go. Gets a lift onto Nofia. Koikfa, he may be magnetized up. He doesn't care. He's getting a kill. FNG thinking about coming in. Slog on the back line is just going to be dancing around. And Quick gonna burn some of that damage by Zip Zap Napping. Lohadon's coming back in again. The Aaron's just on the back line. He didn't have an invis or anything. There's a Supernova. Kez is gonna work on it and they will blow it up. And now Lohadon's forced to run away. Has to pop that ult to get on out. Mine is not helping him too much now. They're thinking of that Infest Bomb. Maybe they'll just go deep past the tower. They want Yoku.
Yeah, they're pinging him out. They know he's there.
Oh gosh, he just goes with a TP away, and they won't quite be able to find it. But another big win there for Diggity.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They found their timing. They're executing right now. This does look like last game, where they kind of had a little bit of an advantage and started pressuring, but they're going too badly. Like, that was a fight that looked a little scary, right? Kez was hanging around for a bit, but he manages to survive long enough to get plenty of reinforcements coming. The App Store, and then quick Nero showing up. I actually, like, the Sun Egg...
Nobody knows. It's like Culling Blade. Nobody knows this is called Supernova. And also, like, the spell is called Supernova, but it's definitely, like, the thing itself is an egg or a sun. Like, what does the spell description say? Anyway, you were saying. I'll get the lore for you.
It was nice, like, going for the fight only being 7, so it only takes, what is it, hits or... No, it's gotta be, yeah, it's 5, okay.
Yeah, it's 5, 8, and 11, I think.
He did save Yoku. Like, Yoku would have went down had he not casted that. Like, I understand why he went for it, even though it was just kind of like, they're about to just kill this egg here. Dig though, looking... They can keep cracking these towers. Rodon is relatively for them if they have a couple picks. Don't want to just, like, go balls on in there. You know, if everyone else up on VP, just blink. They're on Yoku though.
We'll see them get ready for another Infest Bomb. I believe that was completely spotted out here. So they will not be having the element of surprise, but what Koikba can do, you may not be far enough back here, Phoenix. They just saw that Fiery Spirit, but Phoenix will back on out, and so it should just be the tier 1 for Diggity. Yeah, they try to find the Phoenix, no luck.
Yeah, they're invading G here, up top too. Bit of a counter split push, pings are coming out. The range is like, guys, help! Help me kill it.
Yeah, if they take too long, they're gonna miss out on that Mystic Flare block, able to pounce away. Windrunner has actually destroyed the tower first, but they didn't have glyphs, so they couldn't really stop it. On pushing, obviously, right now with the Windrunner, VP do push a little bit faster, so I feel like Dig is happy to get the trade almost, but... And they still haven't used Ravage.
Yeah, that tier 1's not all up there either, whereas the mid one obviously very important to keep control your side of the map on the Radiant, so... Thinking about some of the Era, they could get a Jackal, but... You need like a full wave spin back away.
I would like just for a moment again to focus on how Yapsor somehow, despite the fact that his team was down for quite a while there, has managed to get quite a bit of farm, has an Aether Lens. Oh gosh, Era. He doesn't know. There's still, he's almost in base actually, he's fine. No hype here. He's probably just fine.
He was involved in 8 of the 11 kills. In the mid lane the whole time, his experience was low, just because of the dual laning, but once those kills started to come out, he was always going to be pressed to just rotating right out of the mid, no fear, just on through such a risky spot to go through.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they have not sentry for wards.
Cinder maybe looking elsewhere, because he should have seen his hero walked around something, but, you know, you usually click in somewhere else. Double checking if you see anyone, and Koikba will be fine, able to get out of bottom lane, is working on that Bloodstone now, which with the new 12 charges, you know, maybe it's enough. Well, I probably just jinxed him though. Let's see.
Before the blink dagger, it's pretty hard to kill.
Okay, we're good. No need for shock attack sound effects.
I assume it will be at blink next. For G.
Yeah, that's the build right now.
What's going on. Oh, they know about the ward too though.
Good stuff. But it's near the end of its life.
Yeah, sure.
Yep, just
land.
Dead in mid lane. Oh. Bad news bears for him, but yeah, the Blink Dagger seems to be the build that comes out now from the Windrunner. Boys, then the Ags, but could go either way. We'll see what G wants. They are gonna push this tower. We actually have just picked up the Blink on the Tidehunter, but nobody's really nearby, so that'll have to be there for the next tower protection. And OVP, what do you think is the game plan? Just keep farming up the slog? He's gonna have that Shadow Blade coming out now, I think, if he can actually get it. Should he be going off alone, maybe with another smoked? Finding some slay?
I think G... I don't think you need Blink the game. I mean, it's up to him, but when I look towards an Axe, well, Earth Spirit, like... maybe he's just, it's so important that he gets the shackle, because if he shackles the Life Stealer or the either before the zip that rage that is pretty huge, so maybe he will go for that Blink Dagger rather than saving up for the Aghanim Scepter, and then they'll just start fighting, and yeah, he'll just pick it now. So, alright, I like it. On in. This is great, he could get this smoke.
We'll see if they can catch out Aloha Dance. Syndra doesn't quite realize he's over there. This concussive shot will hit immediately. He pops that ult, trying to get on out of there. They've thrown the silence onto the Phoenix as well. Axe goes in, only gets the call into one, and the lifestealer pops on out. He's showing off that blade mail, the heal from the Phoenix. Oh god, Syndra's dropping a lot of damage. They've picked up the axe, they've also lost their Storm Spirit, and they need to work on this Supernova. They'll manage to blow it up. Aloha Dance is still here. They can see him here. He will walk out of vision. The concussive shot not going to be enough, and it looks like both teams
coming back in
lose a little bit. Oh yeah, there is the telekinesis up. G getting ready. Eric hold on, and there's the Ravage coming out onto 3, and Diggity will be taking this team fight. Aloha Dance trying to get away, but won't be able to. And it is a full team wipe for Diggity. Kazu held that Ravage for years.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, there was so many sick shackles from G to the Storm Spirit post Kraken Shell. So the
what are we pinging like mad? Also, you may have muted your mic, or you're sneezing. Who knows?
No, I did.
I swear it's not that. I had someone being like, Lana, sometimes when you talk to that mock guy, there are these awkward pauses, and I'm like, oh gosh, that was just death on Skyrath. And I was like, yeah, it's his mic, or he's sneezing. You know, mock pack's very sneezy.
Yeah, sometimes I like a little bit of dead air. Sometimes too. I won't lie. Kind of chilling out, reassessing the game about things. Going with the mindless. Sometimes I get like that mindless stream consciousness, and I just say shit that like 2 seconds later I go, yeah. The Blink's coming out there. The Blink Dagger really paid. Although they weren't able to win it, I think they got a little bit greedy from VP hearing how the last couple fights had gone. It seemed like they had almost won it in a sense, even though I think it was trade. Like the shackles keeping them alive for the vast majority. The consistent silences coming well on top of that Tidehunter too. And well played by Kezu. Right around. And we'll spot Koifa.
Oh, yeah, let's see. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. With the silence, we're just gonna see a quick head chop off. And again, Storm Spirit, 6th on the net worth chart. I mean, it's gonna be a while before we see that late game Storm Spirit we used to be terrified of.
Yeah, he's pretty much the only one that's not terrifying all the time. Like, he's more firm.
Yeah, so will get shackled, brought down here. Really nice play there by G. He's linking up into his face using that focus fire. And we're seeing Syndra drop the Mystic Flare, pops his one. Is he gonna go down? Finally he does, but what a nice attempt. Getting some work done on the Slog, forced out that Shadow Dance from the Slog. At least it's something.
Yeah, that's sick. All starts off just by getting top of the Yapsor and eliminate him. Fights that Blink Aether Lens, like major work being done by him, feeling the power shot in the last fight too. And now they clear out some of those enchants attack that was done up there for them. And VP have just like suddenly so swiftly turned this right back around.
Yeah.
Way back down from that K lead, and they're opening up Roshan with every tower that they do take down.
It just feels like they are very comfortable, even though they took a bad fight in what they need to do. And no Diggity having a bit of the opposite problem, won't be able to stop. Oh, okay, Phoenix, I do not think you meant to. Oh, that was a TP, okay. That was an Icarus dive TP. I was a little confused why he came back there, and luckily, Rubik not quite able to get in range. Although, Yapso just picked up that blink.
Yeah, super scary stuff. It's like what a crazy combination. Blink plus 8 Thublins on this hero. Lift range now for the telekinesis too. Slow down that Aghanim Scepter. Roll. Unlikely we'll be seeing that one until about the 32, 33 minute mark, depending on how these fights go. But they just need to keep grouping up. They have the Greaves, they have the Blink on top of Kezu, Ravage is up. They're still very scary, and way that like go to town in the middle of these fights. The Aloha Dance coming through. He's gonna find Syndarin. First damage should be enough here.
Yeah, he's gonna go for it this time. Syndarin not quite able to save his life. Not enough one charges. And Aloha Dance will get himself a nice little kill. This is kind of scary from the standpoint of the Slog doesn't actually have much here. Oh, okay, what is happening? We will see Storm Spirit go down again. And then immediately the pings come out from Diggity thinking that there are wards there. Unfortunately, it was just a good find by VP.
And then the ward down. Well, you speak about wards too. So many of them have been eliminated and spotted here by Aloha. Big parts about the Slark that's pretty difficult to spot from really spectator perspective. It may be hard for No Diggity because we know they want to force fights in a lot of ways right now. Everything's scaling with Wind Ranger as well. Sorry, kind of more. Sorry, yeah, he's got 2 life stealers. I want to fight. They're on VP who are just kind of taking the lead in terms of pushing this. And you saw that first pick off in the mid lane. Now they're all grouped up. Tidehunter's way the ways down bottom. No Storm Spirit, no contest to this one.
Yeah, I think it's a lot closer than it looks, but Dig have this problem of poor Kuiper's trying to find farm and is really not cutting it. So they will end up probably on dewarding this fresh ward. Was just placed here, so that'll be really good for them. And VP placed it after ganking Kuiper, and I'm sure they'll check there, but this may just be the high ground push. There may not be anything to deward if they're not careful here. This does have a gem though. This is really nice.
Yeah, that's really going to help out for their little bit of a group up style that they need right now.
Lifestealer Illusions just saying hello, trying to body block Aloha Dance. He just pounces right on over them. They'll get that ward that was freshly placed, so big win there. I believe they should see though that there is a gem up on Tidehunter. So VP gonna be aware for that. What else have we got coming out here, folks?
It's just really all that matters is that close. But once they have that, they're just never trying off any more. That's up.
I'm not sure it'll be enough.
Well, then you get him an age, kind of like your old like Gyro buying the Rape, getting the Divine. The Storm Spirit Bloodstone Aegis is so crucial so that he can keep up those stacks and then propel himself into the secondary item, which might even be like a BKB this game, honestly. I think Kuiper just has to be so wary about these shackles. I suppose they can be destroyed.
It's something. I don't know, G's been playing this Windrunner incredibly well. Getting a lot of farm up is about 400 gold, a little less, away from that Aghanim Scepter. And that's just going to be another power peak for VP. And if they keep managing to find Kuiper off alone, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Because their team does need that for the D-push, right? Kuiper's meant to be quite a bit of their damage in addition to Era.
They look like they're ready to smoke here. How they're sitting. Could just be worried about a smoke coming over the side of the rating. Because you look at the Dire Side Vision, they don't see anything.
Yeah, they are a bit in trouble, but no, they go for the Roshan, and this is being pinged out by both sides. I'm not sure
They
what a lot of Earth Spirit. They do. Earth Spirit did ping it out. So we'll see if Nofia wants to go over there at all. Aloha Dance is backing around. This is the slowest road we've ever seen. They have no minus armor because they're not gushing it.
look at the scan that comes in. Worried that they're nice and Invis rune spawning too.
Oh gosh, this is incredibly tense. Somebody please gush the Roshan, and instead they will not. So we will see Yapso has backed on up, and they have to know. Surely they're going to come
like
check.
the freest rush ever.
So I think what happened here. Okay, so
I think they just thought they couldn't.
No, yeah, exactly. I think they were like, look, if they're taking Roche, it's already gone. The Roche took so long. So that took about 30 seconds.
I mean,
how
it
long
might
was
have
the
been a
scan
full
being
minute,
on
honestly.
Diggity? Yes, that took over a minute because the scan was on cooldown for 45 seconds, and the scan came out after they'd been doing Roche for a bit. So good times there. Good job, Dig, getting that. Gonna be a little bit of a boost to their net worth, so we'll see the curve tip over. And defense with Aegis, that's gotta be some good stuff.
Yeah, despite me talking about it for like a minute straight, they then handed it over to Era instead. So it's good to and then following up with the Rabbit.
I'm guessing it was just a typo.
Tower is under attack.
Okay, we've got this. For Dig, they have either bought themselves another 5 minutes, or they might be able to make an engagement. We haven't discussed how this goes if it goes super late. I was expecting, obviously, Storm Spirit's one of those, if you can get the farm, incredibly hard carries, but at this rate, his super late game isn't going to be until like the 50-60 minute mark.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing any of those like Octarine Bloodthorns. Got a little ways to go. Now we're smoking up. We got our items. Everyone is ready to fight. But they don't have their Era? Hello?
There's also no vision. They are going to put some up and not see that Windrunner was around. So, unfortunately, they looked for something there, and as you said, no Era, no Slay.
Okay, well, pretty fortunate they weren't punished there, I'd say. Just they run into like 5 heroes. They sure would just either have to blow Ravage and maybe they make it out, or they just all die and lose the gem. Well, has to be pushing lanes.
Flock also immediately finds the ward. We're going to see the blink away from Yoku. VP are doing a really good job of dodging all of this.
Aetherlin's now done up here for FNG, helping to increase that damage of the Sunray. And we haven't seen them like start a fight in forever, it feels.
How do you here? Everybody is incredibly mobile on VP. You've got the roll away from the Earth Spirit, the 2 blinks up, pounce from the Slock, or even just the Dark Pact kind of Shadow Dance, pounce away, and Phoenix has Icarus Dive. There are so many tools on VP for just getting out, and with the way Ravage interacts, how it comes out from the center, right? You got issues.
Oh, they're starting to set up with the bomb.
Well, we'll see what they can do. Slock getting ever closer to that BKB. They jump on in, but there they go, opening up. Syndrome immediately gets his head chopped off, but they pick up the Slock. And Yoku, there is not looking to be a great escape. He is showing off that BKB. Is he actually going to just TP out? Yes, he will. A nice job there. That was the fresh TP. So he gets on out.
Alright, I'll take that. I mean, it's not a major team fight win, but as long as they again and slow down this Slark,
Dire's middle
things
tower is
A-okay.
under attack.
Get inside that jungle. Some decent wars down themselves. G is mega scary right now. I'm excited to see how much damage he can do to someone like Era, because one shackle, he'd be eliminated immediately. As to build into this NKB to try and deal with this win.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
Era's
tower
got a
is
really
under
hard
attack.
task ahead because there are a lot of silences and other things. That's why there's the Monta coming out here from this Lifestealer. But, you know, you have your rage and you happen to get shackled, worse still, shackled maybe in between omelet toggling, and everything's gonna go south all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's starting to build into that Aghanim Scepter. Both teams playing this very passive.
Dire's middle tower
I guess both of them
is under
content
attack.
with where they think they'll be over the next little while. And our biggest lead, currently, I think this is where we've been. It's just really over 3K.
And it's not, I mean, one, this patch doesn't have the huge net worth swings that we used to see. Two, it's just feeling a lot closer. It does very much feel like whoever wins the next few team fights engagements are just going to be there, but it's not that either side has a huge lead, right? Once the BKBs come out, I would give the edge over to VP again, once Slock has his finished, but until then, we're just waiting around kind of to see who jumps in first.
Yeah, there's still so many objectives to take. Like, tier 2's on the Dire, 3 still up for the Radiant side. The Aegis will be firing in about 40 seconds. We might see a smoke up come from VP when it ends. Waiting for that. They're actually going to go now while it's still up, so a bit riskier, but they can just try and focus down everyone before the Lifestealer anyway, I'm sure.
Yeah, they can also just try for that kind of perfect timing. We've seen it before. Teams waiting really patiently. Go in right as the Aegis expires. We will have the infestation onto Koikva. So if he gets caught out here, there will be a nasty surprise, but that is a lot of the members of VP. We have Radiant scanning behind the tier 2, thinking that folks are over there. The scan on, cool, well, they could use it, the scan here, for the Dire to check out if they are in the danger zone, but instead they're just gonna hide up. Aegis does in fact expire, and Cinder has been seen, gets cold, gets blown up.
And Koikva's sticking around a little bit riskier here.
Oh my goodness, he's going to go for the zip zap map, throws out the TP, and he should be fine.
That was a little bit scary.
But just one pick off, and the 5 minutes of kind of free farming that Diggity had, they are gone. We'll see that they weren't quite able to capitalize on
yeah,
it.
Absor.
Oh, yeah, he is shackled and dead. Goodbye, sir. They just can't afford this on Diggity.
Yeah, it's not too much of a, like, it's not too big of a deal. Mostly just comes down this next Roshan. Be waiting for that one for a while. Items coming out here. Have that BKB, as you had mentioned, finished up here for the Wind Ranger. And as well for Law Dance, we already have his still on that 10 seconds, so we're certainly ready for that big fight that they avoided last time. Full 9 seconds still available here for Yoku. So let's go, get to that. Play CIS Dota.
Do you think that they are just waiting for on Diggity? Oh no, as I say, did you think they were waiting? They're gonna go on Aloha Dance. There's the pullback. Immediately the Mystic play. They blow him up. No chance to pop that BKB, and a super nice play there coming out of Dig.
Yeah, that damage is insane. No Radiant Vision inside their own jungle right now. Looks like they've just been doing many rotations that they haven't had time to plant everything down. And of course that gem from bit of their vision to make them wary of where they want to throw it. And they're actually gonna scan out inside their jungle. So despite losing the Slark, I guess they're thinking, or well, killing the Slark, they think that maybe they were stuck into there.
I actually really like this play from both teams. It's definitely slow. I'm not going to deny it. This isn't the fastest game we've ever had, but they are being very patient, and I think it's going to obviously pay off. They're finding the picks on the cores, stopping their oppositions, both sides are, from progressing further. Diggity have a really hard to siege high ground. VP do need these pickoffs before they go for it. And similarly for Dig, if they wanted to siege even a tier 2, you don't want to siege it into Axe, Supernova, and all of the stuff coming out of the Earth Spirit. So it's just safe, cautious play.
Yeah, the way VP's initiation is going to be like Yoku needs to, actually it'll probably be the Phoenix just diving in and maybe doing a little bit of suicidal leg to help follow for Yoku. Talk about how it will be a little bit of a counter play to them trying to bring it down. There's no real vision here. Like, yeah, you can spam power shots and you can use the Remnant, but there's none of that big, massive stuff that we're kind of used to seeing in a lot of these games between Night Stalkers and Beastmasters. Risky plays, that's why this Aegis is just ever so more important, to want every advantage that you can high ground.
A lot of the risky business did get banned out, but they will focus fire down 2 towers. And G. The rest of VP kind of pushing up a little. They could just poke at it, but instead they're going to back up. They see that there's been a Storm Spirit kind of split pushing. With GT peeing out, that should be the end of it.
And now, we wait.
Oh yeah, well, okay, big items coming out. We've got a Lincoln Sphere on Storm Spirit also. Has managed to get 2 charges despite all the previous deaths. You know, this is a 1, 7, and 6 Storm Spirit. I'm really surprised he's managed to get 2 charges on that thing. And for Tide, do you think we'll end up seeing the Shivas coming out here? Or is it just time for Sheik to deal? He went the 4-star after finishing the Guardian Greaves.
I think just refresher item.
Okay.
This game, Shivas is decent, but it's like the double Rav just kind of they don't have really any, like, and think about how well it's with whatever Yapler can steal between Jackal or even Paul. Any of Earth Spirit skills are really good when you have some nice.
Oh god, they are going in for it. Cinder! Oh, he's in trouble. There will be the Pounce and the Jackal, but they use it all on Cinder, and there goes the Rabbit. They picked off G. The Supernova is standing there. Eric declines to work on it, instead going in onto Yoku, who's getting those spins, gets the dunk onto the Tide Hunter, and now Eric sitting there alone, isolated, needs some help. He doesn't have it in his He's just gonna try to stand and try getting a lot of good damage, but it's not enough. He gets dunked, and what looks like a beautiful Ravage coming out of Dig is just not enough.
Yeah, so they just can't get any of their support play off during the fights, and they don't have things like throwing in his damage or troll coming up from Yaps or one of those big steals. So you look towards the Tide Hunter, but being that they don't have that like quick elimination, and we haven't even called Dance go to higher game. Yeah, ever since he got farmed, he just got solo stopped twice. The power there, now over close to 20 stacks. Still against a hero like that Life Stealer, where he can just sit on top of him and just steal everything that he wants. And same thing with the
Koikba getting cold, gonna get Silver Edge to a Cinder, and you gotta save him, but he just can't. At the very least, Koikba has a short respawn timer, also does have buyback, but it's not looking quite enough to save these racks. We'll see. Yapso does manage to steal that call. May have to use it suicidally. Nice Mystic Flare doing quite a bit of damage to Aloha Dance, but he'll just back on out. Use that Shadow Dance and heal all the way back up, or just use that passive. Does the passive have a name? It doesn't, right? It's still just Shadow Dance.
Bottom tower is under attack.
It's a rough game here, right? Yeah, you can say like, yeah, it stops Shackle, but it doesn't stop the secondary Shackle. If you do it off of someone else, it's not going to stop anything that comes out from the Earth Spirit. It's not going to stop the Berserker's Call.
We will see them going because of the BKB is not playable. Adopted brought down the Tide Hunter. There is the call sticking on tools on the Sunray goes on through, and Era left alone, isolated again. The pounce forward, he is taking that Magnetite. A lot of damage coming out from me. Tries to mount a nice omelet toggle coming up with the focus fire, and then the dunk proves to be too much. And now G gonna work on another tower, and it's looking very good for VP. They call the GGs on Dig, and VP will take it 2-0.
Well, much closer game this one, but I gotta say, I just think that the pressure early on, this hero, not in a good spot right now. He can't get like solid, safe lane time to do stuff. And we saw like the infest bombs and stuff, they worked, but honestly, like, it wasn't the Storm Spirit movement or anything that was really doing it, right? It was...
Joe could do it eventually. Either way, there's the destruction open up. We're gonna see the Soul Catcher business. They're gonna get the cooldown. And Scandal, of course, healing up, but they're doing so much damage to him. Throws out that unstable concoction. They back to take him off there. A nice vacuum back, and there's also gonna be the Venomous Gale, or and the poison. They